everyone, I'm Kristel and Celemin from the Batangas State University, Alangilan Campus, taking Bachelor of Science in Information Technology from the section 2105.
Video is all about the tutorial for the chapter 2. The chapter 2 entitled Configure a Network Operating System. So let's start. So every computer requires an operating system to function, including computer-based network devices such as switches, routers, access points, and firewalls. It says here that the computer, all computer requires or must have an operating system to function, and including the computer-based switches, routers, access points, and firewall. So these network devices use an operating system called a network operating system. So the operating system that they use in the network devices are called the network operating system. So I have here the three operating system. The first one is the shell. So let me read first the description. So the shell is the user interface that allow users to request a specific task from the computer. So the shell is the user interface that allows the user to request specific tasks. So uh, the shell allows the user to request a task. Then the kernel communicates between the hardware and the software of the computer. So it is easy. So the kernel it is the one who communicate between the software and the hardware. Then the next one is the hardware. So the physical part of the computer, including underlying electronics. So that is very easy. So that is the physical parts of a computer. The next is access methods. So the most common access methods are console. First is console. This is a physical management port that provides out-of-band access to a Cisco device. So uh, the console is we usually use in when we will configure a router or a switch. So we are using the console cable. So the console is it provides out of band access. So for us to access the Cisco device, so we use the console method. Next one is secure shell or the SSH. SSH is a method for remotely establishing a secure shell I connection through a virtual interface over a network. So the console is using a cable. So the SSH is remotely only. So it is used to secure shell I connection through a virtual interface. So the next one is the telnet. Telnet is an insecure method of remotely establishing a CLI session through a virtual interface over a network. Unlike SSH, Telnet does not provide a securely encrypted connection. So that is the difference between the SSH and the Telnet. So the SSH is more secure than the Telnet. Telnet is says here that insecure because uh, they provide does not provide a securely encrypted connection. So they are unencrypted. Next one is primary command modes. The first one is the user exec mode. This mode has limited capabilities, but it is useful for basic operation. It is often referred to as view-only mode. So in the user exec mode, we only view that. So it has a limited capability. So uh, there are a few command only that we can do in the user exec mode. So uh, that's why it referred to view only. The default device is for that is the switch and the greater than sign, or the router and then the greater sign. Then privilege exec mode. To execute configuration commands, a network administrator must access privilege exec mode, allow access to all commands and features. So if we are in the user exec mode, so we will type the enable for us to go in the privilege exec mode. So the default device is the switch and the hashtag sign, and then the router and the hashtag sign. So in the privilege, so it allows access to all commands and features. So uh, they allow. So the difference between the user exec mode and the privilege exec mode is that the privilege exec mode has allows access to all commands compared to user exec mode. So it is a view only command. Configuration command mode. To configure the device, the user must enter global configuration mode, which is commonly called global config mode. So we are in the uh, user exec mode, so we will put the enable, then the privilege exec mode, uh, then to go to uh, global configuration mode, so we need to put in the privilege exec mode the config C or the configure terminal. Next one is navigate between iOS modes. To move from user exec mode to privilege exec mode, use the enable command. So I said it before that if you are in the exec mode and you want to go to the privilege mode, the command that you will use is the enable. Then use the disable privilege in the privilege exec mode command to return to the user exec mode. So for example, you're in the privilege exec mode and you want to go to user exec mode. So you will use the command disable. Next one is to move in and out of global configuration mode. Use the configure terminal in the privilege exec mode command. To return to the privilege exec mode, enter the exit global. So uh, for example, again, you're now in the privilege exec mode and you want to go to global configuration. So the command that you will use is the config T or the configure terminal. Then if you are now in the global config mode and you want to return into the privilege exec mode, the command that you will use is the exit. Basic iOS command structure. Keyword. A specific parameter defined in the operating system. So the keyword is there's a specific parameter. So it has a value. Then the argument not predefined, a value or variable defined by the user. The argument is the user will give the value. Uh, the difference between the keyword and argument are the keyword it has a value. Then the argument is the user is the one that who will put a value. iOS command syntax. For instance, the syntax for using the description command is the description and then the string. The argument is a string value provided by the user. The following example commands demonstrate conversion using document and use iOS commands. So let's first the description. So if you want to put the description, so the command for that is the description and the string value. So the string value is the it will be a up to the user. So the string value provided by the user. Then the following examples demonstrate conventions used to document and use iOS commands. So the first is the ping IP address. The ping, the command is a ping, and the user-defined argument is the IP address of the destination device. For example, that is for example, you will ping uh, the two computers. Let's say the PC1 and the PC2. So you will ping the PC2 in the PC1. So the ping is I forgot to say is ping is the testing the connectivity of the two network. Uh, the first is I said before that the PC1 and the PC2. We will ping the PC2 in the PC1. So you will type ping and then the IP address of the PC2. Then if they got the replies for replies, it means that they have the connection. So trace root IP address. The command is the trace root and the user defined argument is the IP address of the destination device. So the user-defined argument is the IP address of the destination device. So for example, trace root, that is also the trace root 192.168.254.254. So that is also an example of a IP address. Hotkeys and shortcuts. Tab completes a partial command name entry or when in command. So let's for example, yeah, configure terminal. You can only put configure then tab. So the terminal uh, will appear. Then the backspace erases the character to the left of the cursor. So backspace, so it is usually it is for erase. Uh, then Control V erases the character at the cursor. Enter key displays the next line. So if you enter, the next line will display. Space bar, next screen. Display the next screen. So in enter key, display the next line. In space bar, so the next screen will display. And then any key. And the display string returning to privilege exec mode. So if you uh, type or the any key, so it will go back to privilege exec mode. The device name. Host name should start with a letter. So it says here, uh, it is the letter should be first. Then contain no spaces. No spaces. So if you want to have spaces, you can use the underscore sign or symbol and with a letter or a digit. So it can be and in the letter or digit, uh, but it will not be start in the digit. Use only letters, digits, and dashes. So that's only. So you cannot have space. Be less than 64 character in length. So it it needs to be 64 only, 64 character only. Then configure host name. From global configuration mode, enter the command hostname followed by the name of the switch and press enter. So when you will put hostname, like for example, hostname CICS building shortcut for building, then third floor. So like that is an example. So the command for that is hostname and the space and the name or the host name that you want, and then press enter. Secure device access. Secure privilege exec password access with a password. uh, you will put you will here you will put the line console 0. That's something, yeah. Then the password you want, and then the line B2, and the user exec access with the password. Then the enable secret anything password you want. Then you secure remote telnet access with the password. Configure a password. So that is one I said you. To secure privilege exec access, use the enable secret password global. So in the global config in the global config, you will type the enable secret anything password that you want. Enter line console configuration mode using the line console 0 global configuration command. So the 0 is used to represent the first and in the most cases the only console interface. So in programming, they started count in 0. That's why 0 is represent the first. Next is specify the user exec mode password using the password and then the password that you want. Command. And finally, enable user executive access using the login command. Then you just type the login command. Secure BTY lines used for SSH and Telnet. Enter line BTY mode using the line BTY 015 global config mode. So 15 because in programming we started in 0 and the line BTY has a 16 ports, so it is from 0 to 15. Many Cisco switches support up to 16 BTY lines, so that's why it's 0 space 15. And there are numbered next is specify the BTY password using the password, then the password command. Lastly, enable BTY access using the login command. So the login. Encrypt passwords. So to encrypt passwords, use the service password encryption in the global config command. So in the global configuration mode, so you will just type service password encryption, and then all your passwords will be encrypted. Banner messages. To create a banner message of the day on a network device, use the banner MOTD and then the hashtag, then the message of the day, and then the hashtag and the configuration, global configuration command. So if you are in the global config mode, so you can use to put banner. So the command for that is banner MOTD and then the hashtag and then anything message you want, like for example warning or something like that. And then next, and then don't forget the hashtag SAT. Then save the running configuration file. There are two system files that store this device configuration. The first one is startup config. The file is stored in non-volatile random access memory on the NVRAM. So the startup config is that it is saved in the NVRAM. So even though the computer will be turned off, it will be remain in the NVRAM. And then the running config, the file is stored in random access memory or the RAM that reflects the current configuration. So the current configuration that you are doing is saving in the running config. And the running config is stored in the random access memory or the RAM. Also here, if the computer turned off, so it will be erased. So that's why you need to save it in the startup config. Then to save changes made to running configuration to the startup configuration file, use the copy running config startup config in the privilege extract mode command. So you need to be in the privilege extract mode. So the command for that is copy running config, then startup config. So that's easy. Then alter the running configuration. Reload the device using the reload privilege exec mode command to the restore the startup config. So you will just put the reload command. Then to discard the changes, enter N or no. After you type the reload and enter, then you will put N or no. Next is the startup configuration is removed by using the erase startup config in the privilege exec mode command. So we will, after you put N or no, you will put uh, erase startup config in the privilege mode command. Then after the command is issued, the switch will prompt you the confirmation and then press enter. IP addresses. So most of our devices are choosing the IP addresses. So for example, computers, network printers, the VoIP phones, the IP phones, security cameras, smartphones, uh, handheld devices. So the IP address is like just the address of our devices. It's like our address. It's our home address. So they call it the IP address. Then switch virtual interface configuration. To configure an SVI on a switch, use the interface VLAN1, the global. This one is if you will configure a switch. So you will type the interface VLAN1 in the global config mode. Then next, assign an IPv4 address using the IP address, then IP address subnet mask interface configuration mode command. So after you type the interface VLAN1, then enter, then IP address. IP address and then the IP address that you will put and then the subnet mask. Finally, enable the virtual interface using the no shutdown interface configuration command. So the no shutdown is for the saving end-to-end connectivity test. The ping command can be used to test connectivity to another device on the network or a website in the internet. So to test the two devices, they have the connection and they have the connectivity. So you will ping, then the IP address of the device that you want to test the connectivity. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.